Hello, this is my AP Macroeconomics project. My topic was basically all the multipliers and formulas. Please enjoy the presentation. The first multiplier is simply calculating for GDP. The formula used is GDP equals C plus I plus G plus NX, where C equals consumption, I equals investment, and G equals government spending, and NX equals net exports. The next formula is nominal GDP. Nominal GDP is GDP evaluated at current market price. The formula used is nominal GDP equals P1 times Q1 plus P1 or P2 times Q2 and so on. Next is GDP deflator. GDP deflator is a measure of price inflation or deflation with respect to a specific base year. Now for calculating real GDP. Real GDP is defined as a measurement of the economic output of a country minus the effects of inflation. The formula used is nominal GDP over GDP deflator times 100. GDP growth rate is the percent of change in a nation's GDP one year and an earlier year. The formula to calculate this is the current year's GDP minus the previous year's GDP over the previous year's GDP times 100. Time for a quick example. If in 2011 GDP equals 120 billion and in 2010 it equals 100 billion, the GDP growth rate equals 120 minus 100 divided by 100, which would equal 0.2. Then you multiply it by 100 and get 20%. Up next is unemployment rate. Unemployment rate is just the percent of labor force that is seeking employment but are unable to find a job. The formula used to find out unemployment rate is the number of unemployed over the number in the labor force times 100. Next on the list is money multiplier. Money multiplier is a relationship between the monetary base and money supply of an economy. The formula used to find it is 1 over RRR, which stands for Required Reserve Ratio. Time for another example. An initial injection of $1,000 of new money into an economy with a reserve ratio of 0.1 will generate 1,000 times 10, which will equal 10,000 in total money. Quantity theory of money is next on the list. Quantity theory of money is the quantity of money in a nation, M, times the velocity of money, V, equal the average price level, P, times the level of output, Y. Spending multiplier has to be one of my favorite multipliers. The reason why is because there's two ways to solve for it. The first way is 1 over 1 minus MPC, where MPC equals marginal propensity to consume. The second way to solve the spending multiplier is like the first, but instead of 1 minus MPC on the bottom, you have MPS. MPS is equal to marginal propensity to save. Both these formulas tell you how much total spending an initial injection of spending in the economy will generate. Inflation is a sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. To solve for this, you do this year's CPI minus last year's CPI over last year's CPI times 100. Don't worry, this is my second and last slide, and it's just an example. If CPI equals in 2011 is 156 and CPI in 2010 is 150, the inflation rate equals 156 minus 150 divided by 150, which will equal 0.04. Multiply that by 100, get 4%, and the inflation rate was 4% between 2010 and 2011. That wraps up my presentation. Thank you for watching. Alright.